On a dark winter's day, a little girl sat in a cab with her father. She stared out the window as the cab drove through foggy London. Sarah Crewe was only 7, but she seemed much older. She was always dreaming and thinking. At that moment, she was thinking about her long trip from India. She had just arrived in London with her father. It felt strange to travel from a hot, sunny place and arrive in a cold, dark one. Soon the cab stopped in front of a big brick house. A brass sign on the front door said, "Miss Minchin's Boarding School for Young Ladies."
"Papa, is this the place?"
Sarah whispered.
"Yes,"
he replied.
"we have reached it at last."
Sarah's mother had died when Sarah was born. Sarah's father was an officer in the British Army. He was very rich and handsome and gave Sarah whatever she wanted. Sarah had lots of toys and clothes. Servants took care of all her needs. In India, she'd had only one worry. Her father believed that the climate in India wasn't healthy. So one day he would send her to school in England. And now that day had come. Captain Crewe knocked on the door of the school. A servant answered and led them inside. Sarah looked around at the ugly sitting room with its heavy wooden furniture.
"I don't like it here, Papa,"
she said.
"But soldiers probably don't like going into battle either."
Captain Crewe laughed.
Oh, Sarah, you say such wonderful things. What will I do without you?
He swept her into his arms for a hug. A moment later, the headmistress, Miss Minchin, entered the room. The headmistress had large fishy eyes and a large fishy smile. Sarah thought the woman looked just like her school, tall, dull, ugly. Miss Minchin knew that Captain Crewe was rich. She tried to please him by praising Sarah.
"What a beautiful child!"
the headmistress exclaimed.
"But I'm not beautiful,"
Sarah thought.
"Miss Minchin is making that up."
Sarah stood quietly near her father while he and the headmistress talked. Because Sarah's father was very rich, Sarah would have many nice things at school. There would be a pretty bedroom and sitting room and a pony and carriage. A maid would help her.
Sarah reads too much,
Captain Crewe told the headmistress.
Make sure she goes outside. She should ride her pony or buy some new dolls.
"Oh, Papa,"
said Sarah.
"I don't need a lot of new dolls. I only need Emily."
"Who's Emily?"
asked Miss Minchin.
Tell her, Sarah,
Captain Crewe said, smiling.
"She's a special doll that Papa is going to buy for me,"
said Sarah.
"She'll be my friend when Papa is in India. I'll talk to her about him."
Miss Minchin's large fishy smile grew wider.
"What an unusual child!"
she exclaimed loudly.
"She's such a darling girl."
yes,
said Captain Crewe. He pulled Sarah close.
she is truly a darling girl. Please take very good care of her for me, Miss Minchin.
"Oh, I will,"
the headmistress promised. Sarah stayed with her father at his hotel for several days. He bought her all kinds of expensive clothes, velvet dresses, fur coats, silk stockings. They searched many toy shops looking for Emily, but couldn't find her.
"She has to be a doll who can listen to me, Papa,"
explained Sarah.
"Most dolls don't really seem to hear."
So they looked at big dolls and little ones, at dolls with black eyes and dolls with blue ones. They looked at dolls with brown curls and golden braids, dolls in all kinds of clothing. But none of them was quite right. Then one day, Sarah spotted a doll with golden brown hair and an intelligent expression.
"Look, Papa! There's Emily!
she cried. They went into the shop and bought the doll. Then they went to a dressmaker to order a grand wardrobe for Emily. Finally, the day came when Captain Crew had to leave. He and Sarah were very sad. From her window, Sarah watched him get into a cab. Emily was by her side. Miss Minchin sent her sister, Miss Amelia, to check on Sarah.
Why is this door locked?
Asked Miss Amelia.
I want to be alone, please,
Said Sarah softly. Miss Amelia went downstairs and told Miss Minchin about how Sarah was acting.
I've never seen such an odd child,
Said Miss Amelia.
She has locked herself in her room, but she's not making any noise at all. She's very spoiled,
Snapped Miss Minchin.
I'm surprised she isn't kicking and screaming. All those new clothes are absolutely ridiculous. Her father treats her like a little princess.
A Little Princess, Chapter 2, First Day of Class. The next morning, Sarah had a long talk with her doll, Emily, about her father.
Papa is traveling on the sea now,
Said Sarah. Emily said nothing, but Sarah was sure the doll was listening.
I believe that dolls have secrets.
Sarah told her maid, Mariette.
Perhaps Emily can read and walk and talk. But she only does those things when no one is watching her.
Mariette smiled at Sarah.
It's time for school.
Just a minute, please,
Sarah replied. She went to Emily and gave her a book.
You can read this while I'm in class,
She said to the doll.
What an odd child,
Mariette thought as she and Sarah went downstairs. But Mariette knew she would like her new job as Sarah's maid. Sarah was very kind and polite and had charming manners.
She's almost like a little princess,
Thought the maid. By the time Sarah entered the classroom, everyone was talking about her.
She has so many fancy clothes,
Lavinia Herbert whispered to her best friend Jessie.
I passed her room last night. Her maid was opening a suitcase full of lace petticoats. She's wearing one now. I saw it when she sat down.
Lavinia was nearly 13 and thought of herself as almost grown up.
I heard Miss Minchin say it's absolutely ridiculous for a child to have such fancy clothes,
She said.
I agree with her. My mother says that children should always dress simply.
The two girls pretended to read their geography books, but they were really sneaking looks at Sarah.
She's wearing silk stockings.
Whispered Jessie.
What tiny feet she has. I don't think she's pretty at all,
Lavinia sniffed.
Her eyes are such a strange color. But there's something about her that makes you keep looking at her,
Said Jessie.
Her eyelashes are so dark and long, and her eyes are almost green.
Meanwhile, Sarah sat quietly watching the other girls, who were still staring at her.
Young ladies,
Said Miss Minchin.
I'd like to introduce you to your new classmate, Miss Sarah Crew.
All the girls stood up, and Sarah did too.
I expect you to be nice to Miss Crew. She's just come to London from India. After lessons are over, you will have time to get acquainted with Sarah.
The girls bowed to Sarah, who curtsied in reply.
Come here, Sarah,
Said Miss Minchin as the other girls sat down. Sarah obediently went to Miss Minchin's side.
Your father hired a French maid for you,
Said the headmistress.
He must want you to learn French.
Sarah felt a little awkward.
I think he just thought that I'd like Mariette,
She replied politely. Miss